Paul McCartney is a powerful man who has already achieved a great net worth. But have you ever stopped to wonder about just how this rock star lives? In this video, you will find out all about the luxurious life of Paul McCartney. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. Career. Sir James Paul McCartney was a member of the popular band, the Beatles, in his adolescence. His father McCartney taught him how to play the piano, guitar, and write songs. His musical journey started in 1957 when he joined the Quarrymen, which later became the Beatles. The band's first UK hit was Love Me Do. After that, the Beatles released other popular songs such as Let It Be, Here Comes the Sun, Hey Jude, Come Together, and Don't Let Me Down. In the 70s, the band broke up and McCartney sank into a state of depression. His solution was to write and perform solo, including songs such as For 5 Seconds, Say, and Maybe I'm Amazed. Paul McCartney became one of the most popular vocalists of his generation, and he still draws large crowds. No wonder he has 18 Grammys and 8 Brit Awards. For all his musical relevance, the singer has amassed a fortune and lives a luxurious life. Paul McCartney's career success has allowed him to invest in real estate. Let's look at some of his homes. Estates in England. McCartney lived in a 2-story row house from 1955 to the early 1960s. There, he and John Lennon wrote numerous Beatles singles. The singer bought a 3-story London home 5 years later. Paul's wedding to Nancy 𝐥𝐤𝐵 was held there. A neighboring property just sold for £16.5 million, showing that the area's value has risen. The musician still owns a few properties in England, notably his 150-acre Blossomwood farm in East Sussex. Farm in Scotland. Paul McCartney lived with his family on a farm in Scotland, which he bought in 1966. The farm was a beautiful, peaceful place where the musician raised his family. The artist loved keeping animals on his farm. In college, he became a vegan. After his wife's death in 1998, Paul spent less time at the farm. Properties in California. Paul McCartney appreciates the simple life and comfort that country living offers. His 2-acre Hollywood Hills, California residence is a perfect example of this. The 4,700 square foot home cost Paul $4 million, but it's certainly worth quadruple that now. Many accounts say the artist formerly stayed in a mansion where Madonna also lived. The 15,000 square foot 1940s home sits on approximately 1.5 acres. The wide wooded backyard has lush flowers, stone walks, and wonderful vistas. The front door opens into a corridor that leads to a pleasant living room with a grand piano and wood ceilings. The main residence has 3 bathrooms, 7 sinks, 2 master suites, and 3 family bedrooms. The property has a large screen movie theater, a 2-lane antique bowling alley, a game room, and a golf practice area. On warmer days, residents can use the pool and spa. A beautiful outdoor dining area with a stone terrace and Roman-inspired columns creates a luxury hotel-like atmosphere. A 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom guest house is also available. Paul McCartney may have bought or rented this $23 million home, but the rent is $100,000. Penthouse in New York. Paul McCartney used to own a triplex apartment on 5th Avenue in Manhattan that looked out over Central Park. The 3,500 square foot house had windows from floor to ceiling, which made it possible for lush landscaping. The apartment was built in a classic and retro style and had lots of wooden furniture and colorful wallpaper. There were 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms in the area. It was known that McCartney bought this property in 2015 for $15,500,000, but after keeping it for a long time, he ended up selling it for less than he paid for it. Cars. Paul McCartney has spent a lot of money on classic and rare cars, as one would expect from someone with his huge net worth. Some of the cars in his garage include a 30,000 Ford Consul Classic 315, a 33,000 Ford Bronco 198, a 35,000 Land Rover Series 𝐼86 station wagon from 1955 in his favorite color, green, a 37,000 Chevrolet C5 Corvette, a 65000 1973 Rolls-Royce Corniche, an 85,000 Austin Healey 3000 from 1966, and a $130,000 Lexus LS600. His most famous car, however, is undoubtedly the 1964 Aston Martin DB5 that he wrote the song Hey Jude in. This car is so valuable that it was auctioned off in 2017 for an impressive $1,300,000. Luxuries. Paul McCartney, the lead singer of the Beatles, is usually a simple man who doesn't care much about living a fancy life. However, the singer can sometimes spend his money on things that aren't important. For example, Paul always makes sure to dress well for interviews and events, and he wears a designer watch to top off his look. The model in question is a Patek Philippe Aquanaut, which has a rubber bracelet and is made to look sporty. Only 1,000 of this watch model were made, which makes its $80,000 markup price make sense. The singer seems to really like this watch model because he has another one with a green dial. His charter jets are another thing that McCartney is happy to spend a lot of money on. After all, the rock star almost never takes commercial flights because he likes to be comfortable and have his own space. To give you an idea of prices, a 1-hour flight can cost up to $20,000, depending on the type and size of the jet. Net worth. Paul McCartney is one of rock's wealthiest stars. He's sold millions of records and drawn crowds for over 60 years. As a Beatle, the performer earned 6 gold records and sold 100 million singles. Paul earned $70 million touring alone. According to Forbes, the Beatles' co-founder made over $100 million from solo gigs in 2019. He also earns tens of millions in royalties and licensing fees. These fees come from his own songs, plus a portfolio of other artists' royalties through MPL Communications. This corporation owns Buddy Holly, Carl Perkins, and other tunes. Not to add the money he's made from films and documentaries about his Beatles career. Paul McCartney, 80, is the world's richest artist with a net worth of $1.28 billion. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more videos from our channel, subscribe and make sure to turn on the bell icon.